episode. I was pretty shocked when I discovered that I had a large Casio, especially GShock collection within my watch collection, so I thought this would be a good point to present to you my Casio watches. They're mostly consisting out of G-Shocks, as you can see. Probably we start with actually, I think, one of the first Casios I've bought. It's the classical Casio Duro. This is the former version with the Marlin, which is also known as the Bill Gates watch. Fun fact that Bill Gates has been seen wearing this watch several times in public. It's a very reliable diver, 200 meters of water resistance, 120 click bezel, black layout. The lume isn't the best. I featured it on a video on my channel. You can look it up there. But the overall appearance is just great. It wears on the largest side with 43 millimeters. It's an awesome piece and probably one of the best Casios you can get for your money. I would go for the one with the Marlin. It's just a nice detail and maybe somehow collectible in the future, but we're talking about cheap watches, don't forget. Then we have an acquisition, which was actually a watch that was pretty hot, considering that it is also between 50 or 60 bucks. It's the Casio MTP 1302 PD, or just the Tiffany style Casio with this more or less Tiffany blue greenish kind of dial. It's a reliable quartz piece, as all those pieces here, 50 meters of water resistance. Looks a little bit like a Rolex Datejust. The watch came on a bracelet. The material isn't always all is not stainless steel. I think this is consisting of brass, but the bracelet is stainless steel, or the other way around. I'm not sure anymore. To make it short, I put it on the silicone strap I've bought on AliExpress, and I think it actually fits pretty nicely to the watch. And I don't wear this piece very often, but it's a nice summer watch. I've bought it in the Netherlands when it wasn't available at the moment. It was just funny buying a Casio that was somehow very thought after. Then I think the first G-Shock I've bought is this one, the Casio Oak, and the model is the GA series 2110 ET8AER. Very beautiful model names. So Casio Oak is much more fitting. And as you can see here, I've put it on an aftermarket case design and strap, which is more or less a Royal Oak Audemars Piguet offshore layout, which is pretty actually popular with those watches. The crown is just not functional. It would be cool if it hadn't the crown, but actually the whole integration of the rest of the watch with the pushes is just nice. And I think this is a very clean looking watch. The gray, you can't go wrong with gray. It fits everything, and I think it's one of the nicest ways to combine digital display with analog hands. So I think this is probably a nice way to start in the Casio world. Then also a very popular one is the 5600 one. This is the newest version, the U version, which means in this case it's all solar powered. It has but somehow a different layout. You have the option to have a different layout of the month and the day. You can have it in the, let's say, more or less Anglo-American version, or in the European one. And the difference between the successor is actually the lighting. You can see it has this classical illuminator layout. So lighting on this one, you can say it goes like some greenish tint, and here it is way lighter, but it should be more energy efficient, this LED light. So yeah, still this is very true to the original, the first G-Shock that came out in 1983, and it's also, I think, probably one of the best G-Shocks you can get, considering that it's also solar powered, so you don't have to change the battery. A watch that is pretty similar in the design of the colors, at least, is the DW290, which is very famous, having been worn on the first Mission Impossible movie, and also a watch that is featured on TGV's, the Urban Gentry channel, which is just the best watch channel out there in my opinion, and the first one, or the one that really brought me into watches again. It's not a GShock, but it's also, I think it's as robust as a GShock, and the way you can exit those pushers is just fantastic. So it's, on the first side it's ugly, but you really learn to appreciate the design, the functionality of it. It's not beautiful, I don't say it's beautiful, but it's very functional, and I think it's a great piece if you want to have some kind of Casio history in your collection, and if you're also into movies, this is a no-brainer. And talking about Mission Impossible, the watch worn on Mission Impossible 2 is this 6900 GShock, and I think if you only want to have two G-Shocks, one of the square ones and a different one, then you should have this pair. This one is also still on duty with the US military forces, as well as this one in the non-solid version, which was also on the Speed movie. I think this is just a wonderful piece. It's still around, very traditional in this regard, but on the other hand, very special, easy access. You have this light button in the front, which is very nice, and you have this counter counting 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and the 60 seconds intervals, which is pretty neat. Then we go to my sub-collection, the Square collection. We also have this Super Mario collaboration, which is, I think, a very underrated and overseen piece within the Casio collection, because this is just a match made in heaven. You have a Japanese brand with another Japanese famous brand, I think Casio and Nintendo. I mean, those are the brands if you think of Japanese brands probably. And as you can see, they really made a nice design here. And also the strap is different to the standard strap. It's more comfortable, it's wider, and you can see this has this digital version of Mario. And the fun gimmick is, I hope you can see it here, the backlight, which you can see level up Mario jumping on this turtle shell. And another square I've got, also got the baby G-Shock for my daughter, and actually another square for my wife in the metal silicon combination. This one is the I would say the honey or honeybee version. It also has a very nice case back. You can see here there's the bee and a comb texture, and it also has a gimmick. If you push the light button, you can see honey in the back of the display, honey dripping, as it is also on the strap. You can see it should remind you of some honey dripping down. What else is there? My latest acquisition, and I will feature it on a special separate watch video. It's the 5000 PS. It's of the 40th anniversary series of G-Shock. You can see it on the case back. It has this recrystallized stainless steel case, so it is heated again, and you can get this grainy texture, but in hand it's just beautiful. It's very smooth. It has a negative display. You can have a love and hate relationship. Probably the positive display is more legible in any conditions, but in bright conditions, sunlight, this is just awesome. And I think it really complements the look of this silver little, at first I thought it was very sparkly and shiny, but it isn't. It really reminds me of a stone, and also the feeling on the hand is very nice. It's warmer than regular steel, and the machining is pretty nice, and the bracelet is very interesting. It really tapers down nicely, and it is fitted to, or hold together with small spring bars, which was something new to me. The Backlight is very, very smooth. It's solar powered, multiband 6. And you can see here since 1983. So you can see that it is a anniversary model. And I think this one is just great on my 7-inch wrist. I have to think about maybe getting rid of this one because they're just too close in functionality. Those are really big design differences between them. But overall, I think if you only want to have one GShock, probably this one gives you everything. If you want something more traditional with an analog design, then you go for the Casio Oak or the 6900. And those other models are probably the watches if you're more into Casio, and if you're not into digital watches, go with the Marlin. I hope you liked this video. I will make several new videos on G-Shocks. I will feature them in detail. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave some comments in the comment section, and see you next one.